Coming to you.
Nope. Hang on.
Coming to you every week from no place in particular. It's the best, worst thing you've never seen. This is the Forever Road Podcast featuring Bosco. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down that forever road, he's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. It's Bosco. Here on the Forever Road Podcast.
Good afternoon, everyone. Bosco here. There he is. Tyler S. is in the chats. Right on time, brother. Right on time. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. I hope everyone had fun hanging with your family and remembering why I posted on Instagram earlier why today is the day. Not to be confused, and I'll say this. I never served in the United States military. Not in that capacity. I served in a different capacity. I went in law enforcement. I was a corrections officer. And I was, well, more than that. I worked at a high max prison, etc., etc. I kind of went up the chain a little bit. But I served in that capacity. I was a firefighter, volunteer firefighter, first responder, trained EMT, first responder. But I did not serve in the military. However, a lot of my family did. And brothers, like Brother Turtle. But today is Memorial Day. It's for the brothers and sisters who served, brothers and sisters, moms and dads, everything's like that. Family members, men and women rather, that served and lost their lives doing so. So anyway, yeah, don't go to a veteran and say Happy Memorial Day. It ain't for them. And they know it. Anyway, rant over. My bad. We lost all of our followers except for Tyler. Right there. Good Lord, I got ate up by mosquitoes or something, man. My legs are itching. So today we're going to go over some music today in music history. Obviously, United States history. And maybe some Canadian music history, if there is any. I don't know. Speaking of that, and out of respect for Tyler and my buddy Craig, because those are like the only two Canadians that I know. And I'm not trying to make fun. What other bands other than your mainstream? You got who? What's that band's name? Good Lord, Nickelback's from Canada. If I'm correct in response in the chat, Nickelback, Alanis Morissette. What's the dude that sang about the Edmund Fitzgerald? Wasn't he from Canada too? Terry Clark, Shania Twain. More will probably come to me later on. I can't remember. Terry Clark, country singer. Shania Twain was. She wanted to be Tanya Tucker so bad that like even her looks early on was like dead on. Anyway, so what's been going on with me lately is last week I didn't record because I had no internet. We had a bad storm come through here and it knocked out the power for a little while. Power came back on. I spent like most of the time outside in the carport. Power came back on, internet came on later that night. There was nothing I could do. So that's why I didn't record last week, even though I wanted to. I had my game plan mentally all set up. Even today, I was going to record on what I was going to record last week, but I realized I couldn't get to this yesterday. I was at work, and today's Memorial Day. So I figured that was more important. I want to go down some music history and go down through some songs that I know of right off the top of my head that are really like, there's one, and we'll get to it, that really hits home. I can't play a whole lot on here because last time, even when I played the Aretha Franklin episode, when I did that, it dinged me. And I don't even know if it's still available yet. I hadn't even looked. That lets everybody know that this is not scripted or planned out or anything. I just wing it. I don't edit anything. I just send it. There's no use in I'm not what you see. I mean, even still, the way I am right here on screen, for lack of a better term, the way I am right here, face to face ish with y'all, this is how I am in person. I don't put on the different character. I wore my patriotic hat today instead of the cowboy hat because it's out in the truck and I forgot to grab it. I went out to last weekend. Yeah, last Saturday I was out at the farm, helping my daddy ride around and get rid of some shrubs, some undergrowth. Out there at the farm, and rode around on side by side. It's kind of cool whenever you kind of go home like that. And where's Tyler? Tyler, answer me this real quick. Do you hear the fan? Do you hear any kind of wind noise or any fan noise? He hasn't responded yet. And I apologize if anybody does hear that. My AC went out in the house. Yeah, right here on top of trying to sell it. The AC went out in the house, and it's going to be a day or so before I get it looked at, get it fixed. So it's hot. I don't know how it is anywhere up north, out west, up northwest, wherever anybody else is at. Dude, unless you experience a Georgia heat and humidity is more the thing. I don't care about the heat. That's fine. The humidity down here, it's like you can wear it. Oh, anyway, so if y'all hear the fan, I seriously apologize. I hope it's not too aggravating, but I got to keep the air moving, circulate through the house. So y'all just bear with me. We'll get all that taken care of here soon. I'm going to look real quick. And see where my videos are. Okay, here we go. Live. All right, that's now. I think that one got dinged, partially blocked. That video contains copyrighted material. And this is from the YouTube studio. This is how much sense this makes. From the YouTube studio, it's partially blocked because it contains copyrighted material. I played a video from YouTube Music through YouTube Studios that they blocked. Boy. No, I didn't pay for the music. I never claimed that it was my music. Anyway, so there's that. That partially got blocked. I knew that was going to happen. We can't play music on here anymore. Boo. I don't want to sound negative. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, here we go. Today in music. We go to this other side. I like to read off. I like to pull music facts from and see what they say. Nope. Nope. No. Here we go. This date in 2015, U.S. authorities investigating the death of blues legend B.B. King after two of his daughters claimed he was poisoned. Karen Williams and Patty King said that the musician had been given foreign substances to induce his premature death by his business manager, Laverne Toney. King died in his sleep in a Las Vegas home on 14th of May of that year, aged 89. I think we covered that the other day. 2009, James Brown's family. U.S. judge ended a bitter 2-year battle over the late soul singer's estate. Judge Jack Early ruled half of his assets would go to charitable trust, a quarter to his wife and young son, and the rest to his 6 adult children. It's like, here, I'm going to buy everybody around. Here you go. Take small steps and pass it around. Brown's family and wife, Tommy Ray Hynie, Hynie Brown, had fought over his fortune since he died of heart failure in 2006. This day in 1996, a fire at the home of Eric Clapton caused over £1.5 million worth of damage. Whatever pounds is. I think we tried to cover that. I hear you, but no fan. Cool. Thank you. Up in a lift. No, I don't hear a thing. Sweet. Thank you, brother. At a fire at home, Eric Clapton's £1.5 million. Firemen arrived on the scene to find Clapton braving the blaze to save his collection of guitars. I mean, yeah, I get that. This one right here behind me, and there's one right here out of shot. Well, I only have 3, so yeah, I would definitely grab my gear and get out of here. I think there might be some other stuff in here I might want to grab. I don't know, but I definitely make my guitars out first. Yeah, all my guns and ammunition, because it would be deadly after that point. Let's see. Billy Powell, not to be confused with Leonard Skinner's Billy Powell. Billy Powell, a singer with the OJs, died of cancer. 1972 hit Backstabbers. 73 hit Love Train. Originally known as the Triumphs, and then the Mascots, they took their name, the OJs, in tribute to radio disc jockey Eddie OJ. There you go. Tragedy struck Tyler S.'s favorite singer, David Cassidy, at his concert in London's White Clay. Over 1,000 fans have been treated by first aid workers due to frenzied excitement. This day in 1974, one fan, Bernadette Whalen, died from heart failure 4 days later. Good Lord. I don't believe I've ever been that excited over seeing anybody. And Tyler S. is a David Cassidy fan. Who knew? That was just random. I'm sorry. This day, 1972, Joe Cocker, first day of the 4-day UK festival, Great Western Express near Lincoln, featuring, featuring the Faces, Joe Cocker, Humble Pie, Slade, the Groundhogs, Ry Conder, Ray, hold on, Ry Cooter, Ry, oh boy, Don McLean, Brewers Droop, plus a special appearance by Monty Python. Awesome. That would be amazing. You kidding me? Monty Python? I've been random, but might have been random, but could have been. Yeah. So the name Rye Cooter and Brewers Droop. Is that a band? I think Joe Cocker had one of the greatest voices there ever was. Nothing there. Little Willie John. That's another one I was going to cover. U.S. blues artist Little Willie John died in prison after being convicted of manslaughter. Co-wrote and was the first to record the song Fever, later covered by Peggy Lee in 1958. And Need Your Love So Bad, covered by Fleetwood Mac and James Brown. Recorded a tribute album, Thinking of Little Willie John, and a few other nice things. Thinking a few, that's a hell of a title. Thinking of Little Willie John and a few other nice things. I mean, I've been called worse. Born this day. All right, moving on to birthdays. I take that back. One of the rock and roll queens, Marian Faithfull, this day, 1964, recorded the Mick Jagger and Keith Richards song "As Tears Go By," accompanied by future Led Zeppelin members Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones on bass. Covered Led Zeppelin a couple episodes ago, didn't we? Let's see. Nope. I'm looking through birthdays. I know one main birthday, but yeah, man. This is the other one that we covered on the 27 Club, who was actually 27. No, she was 26. But it was associated to Kristen Pfaff. Kristen Pfaff, bass player for alt rock band Hole, was found dead in her bathtub due to a heroin overdose. Age 26, she died 2 months after Kurt Cobain, who was a close friend as well. Who was a close friend as well as the husband of Hole's from. Kurt Cobain was a. They say that in all the research I did for the 27 Club or Death by Misadventure episode, they said that there was, I think, Kurt was really in love with Kristen. And I mean, I looked at the pictures. I was like, I mean, in comparison, bro, I definitely went for Kristen myself. Like if you had to pick and choose. Let's see. All right, here we go. Pause here. American singer-songwriter and son of country's music's greatest star, Hank Williams Jr. was born this day, 1949, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He has covered how many decades? Let's see, how old is Hank Williams Jr.? This is where we're going. This is not the main topic of the today's episode. And thank you, Tyler, for being in here. Appreciate that. Yep. 1949, so that makes him 70. Yep, so I can't math right now. Hang on. Yeah, 75. That's what I said. So Hank Jr., just spent a few minutes on this. Hank Jr. born May 26th, Shreveport, Louisiana. He was raised in Banks, Alabama, and later on moved around. He got his nickname Bocephus after Rod Bransfield's ventriloquist dummy Bocephus, and Hank Sr. gave him that nickname. He made his recording debut with Long Gone Lonesome Blues, one of his father's many classics. He provided a singing voice for his father in the 1964 film Your Cheating Heart. And I mean, for this man, I covered him before. And matter of fact, true story here. Ooh, yeah, I don't do well with stupid either, brother. It's all right, man. We'll get through it. While he was a child, he was influenced by a number of contemporary musicians who visited his family. And I know this for a fact. I remember writing when, I don't know how it is with everybody else, but when you had to take your GED test, you had to write an essay. And I had just finished Living Proof, Hank Williams Jr.'s book. And that was all that information was still in my head. And they were like, well, who really influenced you early on in life? Believe it or not, I found Hank Jr. first, and then then I kind of discovered the Allman Brothers later. But Hank Jr., in my mind, what's the song say? Hank taught us all how to stay alive. Hank, country boy can't survive. Even if you're not a country artist, country music fan, even some hardcore, I hate saying gangster rap, but it's an oxymoron to borrow that from a comedian. But Hank Jr. is very well known amongst the rap community, rock and roll community. I mean, blues, jazz, everybody. He is a multi-instrument. He can play guitar, he can play piano, he can play bass, drums, fiddle. That's about enough. Acoustic guitar and electric, drums, bass, the big stand-up, fiddle. I think that's about it that I could think of right off the top of my head. But he's been influenced by Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, Fats Domino, Earl Scruggs, and from what I understand, drove some folks crazy playing that banjo. Lightning Hopkins, if you ever really get into some really blues, man, look up some Lightning Hopkins. Yeah, whoa. Jerry Lee Lewis, just to name a few. And the song Born to Boogie, he was, went on a road when I was 8 years old, turned 15. I was stealing a show, wanted to burn, and the girls were pretty. That's legit. That's all him. He never really sat in a songwriting session He'd be out there hunting or fishing because he's a true outdoorsman. He'd be out hunting and fishing, and he would think of a line of a song. Oh, I got to write that down. You know, skin a buck, run a trot line. Country boy can survive. Boom. So, happy birthday to Hank Bocephus. One of the greatest icons in music history. One of my biggest influences. Kind of taught me to get into music. Hank did struggle with drugs and alcohol. He faced it. He started playing after his after he had tried to commit suicide, and I know once he tried, and then when he fell off the mountain and at the Montana Idaho border, it's just raining. When he fell off the side of the mountain, he crushed his face, crushed his vocal cords, and he lost an eye. They had to put that back in and do plastic surgery, rebuild his face. Thought, well, I'll never sing again. They survived. 500-foot drop. Spent 2 years recovering, relearned how to talk and sing. 17 surgeries. To hide his scars, he grew his beard out. Started wearing a cowboy hat. First recording was produced by Waylon Jennings. The New South, One Night Stands. 1980 appeared on the PBS show Austin City Limits during the season 5, along with Shake Russell and Dana Cooper Band. And he is yet to get into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't care about the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's kind of like the Rolling Stones. to me, the Rolling Stone, their word carries weight is like as much weight as the word from our former commander in chief. But we don't get political here. Anyway, moving on. I think that's it for this day in history. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I'll do this for y'all. This day in 1948. Oh, gosh. I'll do this for y'all because I know some of y'all may like them. Now, Stevie Nicks, singer-songwriter from Fleetwood Mac. Her birthday was today. Let's see. I didn't know Guess Who was Canadian. Gary Peterson, drummer from Canadian rock band Guess Who. They do pretty good. I didn't know they were Canadian. There you go, Tyler. Some of your people over there. Yep, here we go. One of my favorite, Levon Helms. We'll pause right there again. Levon Helms, drummer and singer with the band, died of throat cancer, age 71. But he was born this day in 1940. He died throat cancer, age 71, April 19th, 2012. I remember that. Formed his own high school band, the Jungle Bush Beaters, at age 17. Sometimes, man, the reason why I look away and stammer is because when I read stuff, when I read things and it sounds wrong, I don't want to really react. I don't want to say what I'm thinking, so I stop. Pause. uh yes, the Guess Who and The Who are two different bands. One's from England, one's from Canada. One has those guys from the Guess Who, the other one had Roger Daltrey, Keith Moon. That's all I can think of. I'm not a big The Who fan, but and the Guess Who, they had a think yeah, they did the American Woman. Guess Who? Let's see. Yeah, American Woman, These Eyes, No Sugar Tonight, New Mother Nature. That's actually one of my favorite songs by them. Undone and Canned Wheat. Okay. No Sugar Tonight, 1970. These are all late 60, early 70, like 70 songs. American Woman was done in 70 as well. These Eyes, 68. No Sugar Tonight was 70. Undone. I don't think I've ever heard that one. And Canned Wheat. Canned. Canned. Canned Wheat was 69. So. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's why I turned my head. In the middle of reading it, I mean, because you're just reading and you're like, oh my God, I just said this. All right, go back to Levon Helm. If you don't know the band, he later joined the Hawks, Ronnie Hawkins backing group, and then who then became known as the band, who was also backed by Bob Dylan on his U.S. tour in '65, the World Tour in '66. Helm sang on the band's classics like "The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down," "Up on Cripple Creek," "Rag Mama Rag," and "The Weight." Um, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the song before last, but the band was, I mean, that's what they were, man. The band. You had "The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down." For me, was just it is one of those phenomenal, just hits you, you know. Uh, and then you had, but yeah, there was another song that they did, "The Weight." Anyway, so yeah, today was Levon, born this day, 1940. Levon Helms, the band. Miles Davis was born this day, 1926. Jazz trumpeter and composer who had the 1959 album with "Kind of Blue." If y'all really want to hear some phenomenal jazz music, he was a major influence on jazz music. He died September 28, 1991. Miles Davis. Yes. Um, let's see. Uh, no, that's about all I got for this day in music, I think. I don't know if you like, yeah, smooth jazz. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, ever had like a itch right in your right, right in your eyebrow? Mr. Jimmy Rogers, singer-songwriter. On this day, 1933, Mr. Jimmy Rogers, singer-songwriter who was among the first country music superstars, superstars and pioneers, passed away while staying at the Taft Hotel. He was only 35 years old. Uh, he was also known as the singing brakeman, the blue yodeler, the father of country music. Rogers sold over 12 million records and was the first person to be inducted into elected into the Country Music Hall of Fame. The first Jimmy Rogers Memorial Festival was held to honor the anniversary of his death in 1953 in Meridian, Mississippi, and it would become an annual event. George Jones released his seventh studio album, White Lightning, and Other Favorites, in 1959, which gave him number one hit single by the. It was written by the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson, who was killed in a plane crash in Iowa, along with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. Let's see. Born on this day in Georgetown, Texas, in 1970, music artist Keith Gaddis, Gattis, who written songs for George Jones, Kid Rock, Randy Houser, Charlie Robinson, Gary Allen, Ashley Monroe, Waylon Payne, Sarah Evans, and the Eli Young Band. I like the Eli Young Band. They had and Sarah Evans, her voice. Now I know I don't get hugely into country music here because it's more or less we're the outlaws and we're on the outskirts of things. And there are a couple. I've got a list right here of a couple of artists that I'm going to start bringing in and start doing more research on that I'm really, really excited to bring to talk about. I don't see anything hugely on the this other day in history thing. So anyway, I just want to bring y'all enough information, something you talk about, and something you go to your buddies and go, something for you to go tell your folks at work. Hey man, did you know this? Hey man, stuff like that for you to share. Believe me, none of this content I wrote. I just look it up and report it. And some of his stuff is already here, kind of like Hank Jr.'s info and the stuff about Levon Helm. I didn't know today was his birthday, so happy heavenly birthday to all those, and happy Memorial Day again. So we're gonna go down this brief mental list, and it's all buddy. I know I thought about covering that plane crash. I'm not even sure. I think it was sometime in April. Dan Exton has joined the chats. Oh, yeah, he missed it. Dan showed it. Oh, good Lord. He would have picked that up and ran with it, wouldn't he? Let me see. When I hate your. What's that call that? The home screen when you pull a new page up? And you see an ad or an article, you're like, why do you write an article on that? I know it's going to be a song, but what day was that? Yeah, February 3rd, 1959. Did we already cover that? No, you didn't get volunteered for manual labor. No. The Day of the Music, American Pie. Yeah. Well, that's the song, but we were talking about the band, or Buddy Holly's fault that the Big Bopper died. No, it was Buddy Holly's. The other one of the Crickets had given the Big Bopper hit because I think the bib something was wrong with him. I think he had a cold or something. I mean, I blame the plane. I blame the pilot, if anything. But we never did cover that, did we? We had to cover that on a true crime episode or mystery, music mystery, true crime. There's Marine's Blood. There's my other top fan. I blame the inclement weather and the shouldn't have been flying and the under trained pilot. You know, Waylon Jennings said that he took the blame for that. He felt like he called it into, you know, fruition, I guess. You know, I hope your plane crashes. Well, I hope your bus freezes. You know, I don't know. Why you going? I mean, I'm sure you feel bad for things that happened to one of your buddies, and you know, especially as rough and as rugged and all that. And I know we'll cover Waylon Jennings next month because it's his birthday in June. But for Waylon to have his big rough exterior, this hardcore, and he wasn't one to be messed with. All the things that I've picked up on since I started doing thinking about doing an episode. Uh, um, he wasn't one to be messed with, but he had a big heart. So anyway, he carried that with him. So I got a question. What would y'all consider a real good Memorial Day song? Like, would you really consider? And I'll leave this up to the chats. Would you consider what's that? Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, Toby Keith. Would you consider that to be a Memorial Day song, or would that be more like a? I got big feet. Would y'all consider that to be more like a patriotic song? What's the difference in Memorial Day, a memorial song, and patriotic song? I mean, I gotta stop paying attention to the chat sometimes. Let me pull this thing up. Hang on. Let me find my list I found earlier. So I'll just run this one. Summer tone versus. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Um, something to be proud of. God bless the. Dang it, I can't talk. God bless the USA would probably be the number one. I'd be insulting. What? I mean, I know. What do they have today? Do they have anything special today in Canada? Is there? Is it like? Uh, founding of Montreal. That's it. Ville Marie. Ville Marie. I'm not even going to try to pretend. Yep. There's no like Canada Day or so God Bless the USA will probably the one. By was it Lee Greenwood? Yep, Lee Greenwood embodies the American spirit, the chorus, and powerful message. I drive your truck, even though that's kind of mainstream country. I don't. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. American Soldier. I actually like that song. I'll play that one. I can get away with what, 10 seconds? Is it Gory Gory? There's a song that really hits close to me. Let me go back to this song. There we go. Called The 8th of November. So before we really get started here, I think we've covered it before. Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, is a federal holiday in the United States dedicated to honoring the military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Decoration Day began after the Civil War, with the first national observance occurring on May 30th, 1868. And it was established by General John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic to honor Union soldiers who died in the war. The date was chosen because it was not the anniversary of any specific battle, allowing for a day of remembrance of across the nation. First large-scale observance took place at Arlington National Cemetery, where General James Garfield delivered a speech, and participants decorated the graves of over 20,000 soldiers. Local observances had already begun in various towns, with some records indicating that freed slaves in South Carolina held one of the earliest memorials in 1865. Huh. After World War I, the holiday's focus expanded to honor all Americans who died in military service, leading to the name change from Decoration Day to Memorial Day. I think we did cover this maybe last year, maybe the year before. But it's nice to revisit this just like we do. Yeah, Poppy Day. I think me too. That's an awesome song though. And ain't gonna jump no more. I really like that song. I blasted it on the way into work this morning. I'll walk outside right now and put it on a Bluetooth speaker underneath the carport and let it echo off the brick walls and just blare out to the neighborhood. That's what I did on July 4th of last year. Try me. That's probably why they'd be glad to see me leave when I sell the house. It is marked by various activities, visiting cemeteries, memorials, holding parades, participating in ceremonies at national moment of Remembrance occurs at 3 p.m. local time wherever you are, where Americans pause to honor the fallen. Not only serves as day of remembrance, but also as a time for family gatherings, beginning of summer activities, and they try to make it into something that it's really not. Memorial Day continues to be significant occasions in the United States, honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country while serving as a reminder of the importance of remembrance and community. I believe Daddy went down to I don't live, if y'all ever heard of Andersonville, Georgia, one of the notorious prisons throughout the Civil War. I live just a little north, about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes north of Andersonville, Georgia. If y'all ever look into it, look it up. It's all over YouTube. It's a national park, national historic site as well, I believe. But yeah, I mean, it is what it was. I'm not trying to be nonchalant about it, but at the same time, I wasn't alive back then. I didn't know. I wasn't around. I didn't have anything to do with it. However, it was the South. The South already had a hard enough time getting rations and things like that for themselves. So the Civil War soldiers, the Union prisoners down in Andersonville in that camp, I think they did make a movie of it. But it was pretty rough. I mean, it is a bare open field in July's and August's, parts of September in Georgia are harsh, especially if there's no shade. And where that camp is or where that prison is, or I say is, you can almost feel the energy still there from Andersonville. Which I know has nothing to do with music and automotive history and culture like we do, but today is one of those days, so whatever. But you can almost feel the energy when you go down there, Andersonville. If y'all ever make a trip down to Georgia and go to Andersonville just on a whim, whatever reason, you're heading down 75 South, make a detour. But I remember as a kid walking around in Andersonville. For some reason, we would take school bus trips. Yeah. To Andersonville. Hell on Wheels introduced, wasn't on there. I knew about that show, but I never watched it. It's great to march to. Yeah. I wonder if we can get by with 10 seconds of playing that song. Ten seconds. Okay, guys? That's all we got. It's called Blood on the Risers. On the Risers. I was trying to look, see if there's any history on that. Who dies on his first jump due to equipment failure. The song warns other troopers to check their gear before jumping and describes the gory scene of the accident. All right, then. Yeah, I mean, check your shit. Make sure you're... Huh. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, so Hell on, like you said, Hell on Wheels. Yeah, I never watched that show. It was it's probably a Marine that wrote that song. They're like, oh, hang on, I gotta get back to it. We're right there. Gotta watch the timer.
He was just a rookie trooper, and he surely shook with pride.
That was the 10-second mark. Actually, 9 seconds. I think I get by with like doing it a little bit at a time.
Checked on his equipment and made sure his pack was tight. He had to sit and listen to those awful engines roar. You ain't.
That's some bad timing, man. All right, we'll get back to it. Hang on. It's kind of fun.
Gonna jump no more. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die.
I mean, I think I could get by with 10-second increments. I think I've watched other reaction videos, and I think that's how they get by without. I don't know if they get demonetized or whatever. Their videos aren't taken down because I look and see how old they've been, and it's been a couple years back, so I think that's how they get by with it. I've been clicking it off at 9 seconds just to make sure.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't.
Yep. That's one good one. This is a game where we have to guess the words. Can y'all hear it? Waiting on a response. Is it not playing on y'all's end? I thought I was playing that video. Oh, but it's like a game show. Yeah. All right, here's one that as I was approaching this episode, I know we covered a lot today. I don't know if I want to leave that one for last. So, but y'all think American Soldier? No, I don't think that's really Memorial Day song. Here, I'll do this one. Back to YouTube. Any of y'all have ever heard you see, that's what I worried about. Was it a cadence or because like the UGA fight song is "Glory, Glory to Old Georgia," dun, 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 that whole tune. But the Mother's Day episode with Aretha Franklin, where we talked about her, and I played that song. It got dinged. I may have gone a little over on the time, to be honest, because I forgot. But it was too, do I know? I don't know. I hate to edit and seem like I did something mess with the, trying to hide. I don't know. I may go in there and try to snip it back a little bit to cut a few seconds out to get that video to post, but yeah, I think I can do that. I'm trying to teach myself how to edit and teach myself how to do different things on the podcast. So it's all me. Lay me down in the cold, cold ground. All right, we'll check it out. Let's see. I don't know if I've heard this. I probably have. And there's a commercial. I don't pay for my YouTube. Yeah, I've heard that one. Saint Midget be short. All right. Y'all ready for this? Could you imagine playing bagpipes or practicing bagpipes at home? Whew, man.
Lay me down in the cold cauldron.
Oh, it's a Scottish song. Huh. All right. Yeah, it is. It's loud. Whew. Everybody awake? Don't go to sleep on the job, Tyler. He ain't commented in chat. Some Marine's blood. Go over there and shake him. Make him wake up.
Lay me down in the cold cauldron, wherefore many men have gone.
So it says Margaret Carpenter Hammett, born February 9th, 1920, March 2019. That's a long life. Rock and roll, Granny.
When they come, I will stun my gran, stun my gran. I'll never be afraid.
All right, so there's that one. I got one more. Oh, he's back in the lift. Yeah. Oh, I don't look good without a hat on. I just look weird. There's this one. And we'll end it there. I don't get too carried away. And in the chats, if y'all know any, if y'all had any family members that served in the past, obviously in the past. Well, I mean by past is like World War II, One, Vietnam, Korea, anything back. Um, without without disrespect of anybody in the current. You know, had any? Let me rephrase this whole thing. Any military service members in your families that have passed on in the line of duty, serving their country, name them in the chats. Grandparents, uncles, brothers, cousins, great uncles on back. Nice, nice, nice. But did he, if they passed away in battle, in the combat, overseas? So this one, y'all remember the old, I don't even know if they've released any albums lately. Definitely not on the. Okay. Definitely not on the. country music radios lately, but they kind of hit the scene first with the Music Mafia. And it was Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy and John Otis. It's a big dude. Huge. Is that his name? Anyway, yeah. It's been a minute. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They haven't released an album lately. Gretchen Wilson was part of their crowd too. It was during that whole, I don't know, like music back right then. That time period was great, coming out of that sound. Country music without prejudice. I still have that somewhere. So there's this song. And after the ad plays, then I'll put it on. Let's see. Yeah. Cowboy Troy. All right.
Hello, I'm Chris Christopherson. On November 8, 1965, the 173rd Airborne Brigade on Operation Hump, War Zone D in Vietnam, were ambushed by over 1,200 VC. 48 American soldiers lost their lives. Severely wounded and risking his own life, Lawrence Joel, a medic, was the first living black man since the Spanish-American War to receive the United States Medal of Honor for saving so many lives in the midst of battle that day. Our friend Niles Harris, retired 25 years United States Army, the guy who gave Big Kenny his top hat, was one of the wounded who lived. This song is his story.
So I'm gonna stop right there real quick. If y'all, I mean, this is a really powerful song. It really is. It hits close to home to me because of my Uncle Bobby Daniels, who passed away a year ago. He served in Vietnam. He was one of only 3 survivors out of his platoon. It's what up here? But also, did you know something that Chris Christopherson, the man that was speaking right before, he was also serving in the military, so he was also a veteran at that time. He's since passed away. So continuing on, and I had to break this up a little bit, so y'all bear with me. We'll get through the song. Y'all listen to it, and even in the chats or even in the comments below. All right, here we go.
Caught in the action of kill or be killed, greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for his brother.
For our listeners, I'm trying to largely be quiet, but I'm trying to get away without being dinged, so y'all understand. For the listeners, I'm playing the video of Big and Rich, the 8th of November. It's a very powerful video. It's a very powerful song as well. So, yeah. Man, if I can get through it. Good Lord. Excuse me.
Said goodbye to his mama as he left South Dakota to fight for the red, white, and blue. He was 19 and green with a new M16, just doing what he had to do.
All right. Like I said, I'm going to have to break it up. Try to get by these censors and all the AI folks. And get by the bots. But y'all listen to that like right off the rip. You know, man, it's like coming straight out of South Dakota. Now, I ain't never been to South Dakota. Y'all know I've been to Montana. I've been to Wyoming. I've been to Buffalo, New York, all up and down the eastern seaboard. Never been to South Dakota. So I don't know what's there. 19 and green, straight out of high school. Brand new gun. Let's roll. Anybody got anything in the chats? Okay.
He was dropped in the jungle where the choppers would rumble with the smell of napalm in the air. Then the sergeant said, look up ahead. Like a dark evil cloud, 1,200 came down on him and 29 more. They fought for their lives, but most of them died in the 173rd Airborne. All
right. So what I found out also, since we're going to talk about this, I know that my Uncle Bobby passed away as a veteran, but with this song here, this what brings a lot to me. So his platoon, and I had it in a screenshot. His platoon, his group, they called the Magnificent Bastards. To be honest with you, and I may have said this before, I almost named this podcast that just because of all the random BS and stuff that we were going to talk about initially. But I don't think the censors and anybody else would have really liked that. So my belief is the road goes on forever, so that's why I named it Forever Road. But Uncle Bobby was one of them men that when he told you to do something, you didn't argue, you didn't question, you didn't do anything. You, yes, sir, and then you just went and did. But you gave him your word you were going to do something, and you did it. What do they say? Commanding respect. Yeah. So carrying on.
the 8th of November, the angels were crying as they carried his brothers away. With the fire raining down and the hell all around, there were few men left standing that day. Saw the eagle fly through a clear blue sky, 1965, the 8th of November.
So my opinion, right, wrong, or indifferent, war is war. We know men are going to pass. We're going to know we're going to lose people on both sides. Two things. One, however which way you feel about, which I would think that most of the people, my brothers and sisters, are patriotic. Even if you're Canadian, you're patriotic. Told you, Tyler, you're like my second favorite Canadian. My favorite second Canadian. Yes. But men, you believe you're fighting for a cause, you're fighting for a reason, you're going to fight to, in this case, stop communism, stop the flow of communism. In the case of Vietnam, in the case of, you go back to the Revolutionary War, hey, we were tired of a king. Hey, you know what? Tired of paying taxes. Fuck you. What's John Goodman say in that movie? This country was built on that. One of the best lines in a movie I've ever heard. Going back to, World War II, even Patton had the same mentality. If you're going to die for your country, you're going to die for your country. You're fighting for a cause. Whatever way your political beliefs are, your spiritual beliefs are, me, y'all know I'm a Christian, I'm a God-fearing man, I'm a patriot. Even though I'm 40, I'll be 45 in a little over a month. If Uncle Sam calls and says, "Hey, guess what, Bubba? You're up next." Well, guess I'm going. Too old now, but I'd go in the place of one of my kids. That's the way I look at it. But I don't want to misquote things that are going around in my head, so I'm careful at that. Because when you start misquoting things, there's a doctor from the word. I keep getting hurt. So what's the female version of Marines? Navy? Sorry, that was too easy. I can't knock the Navy. My grandfather, William Jerry Wood, fought in World War II. He was at D-Day. Bozeman's. I have his obituary somewhere. Coast Guard. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's a lot better. I was like, what's the female version of Marines? Because your first name is Marines, your last name is Blood. All right.
Now he's 58 and his ponytail's gray, but the battle still plays in his head. He limps when he walks, but he's strong when he talks about the shrapnel that left in his leg. He puts on a gray suit over his airborne tattoo, and he ties it on one time a year.
Speaking of airborne, so my kid went to the military, went to the Army, got out of boot camp last Friday. And he's going airborne. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm going Rangers. So, that's what he wants to do. I honestly believe he can do it. His mentality, he's hardcore, man. I think he's got it real big. But I wrote, those of you that follow my personal account, which is probably everybody in the chats, you saw me tag him and Private First Class Roya's. We met her, after everything was said and done. But it was pretty cool, man. It was really cool. And then we went to go eat. And then I drove back from Columbus, Georgia. But yeah, he graduated at Fort Benning. So yeah, big proud of him. Marines, now that I'm thinking about it, how long did you serve? I can't remember. You have relatives in Canada. So what time zone are you in, Marines Blood? Are you east West Coast, Central, Mountain. Just let me know in the chat. All right, kick this song off again. We're going to finish this thing.
And remembers the fallen as he orders a tall one, swallows it down with his tears. On the 8th of November, the angels were crying as they carried his brothers away. With the fire raining down and the hell all around, there were few men left standing that day. Saw the eagle fly through a clear blue sky, 1965, the 8th of November.
I actually do that too. Every Memorial Day, I actually pour out a shot. Now, I'm kind of curious. That's a little closer to home for me. Oh, that's right. So just for you that don't know, Peace Officers Memorial Day is May 15th. And I know we passed it. It was 11 days ago. The first designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day 1962 by President Kennedy. Flags are flying half-staff Thursday, May 15th across the United States in honor of officers who died in the line of duty. Peace Officers Memorial Day comes during Police Week. It was established in 1962 after President Kennedy signed a proclamation designating that day as Peace Officers Memorial Day. A week surrounding that date has since become a time to honor fallen law enforcement. I don't know why I missed it. I don't remember what I was doing 11 days ago. All right, let's roll.
Saw the eagle fly through a clear blue sky, 1965. On the 8th of November, the angels were crying as they carried his brothers away. With the fire raining down and the hell all around, there were few men left standing that day. On the 8th of November, the angels were crying as they carried his brothers away. With the fire raining down and the hell all around, there were few men left standing that day.
I know. I went a little long that time. It's a good song, though. I hope I'm really entertaining y'all today. I know I ain't got a whole lot of information, but I wanted this to... I really wanted to bring this song. It's been in my head for the last 2 days. So, it's really one of those songs that when you play it outright, and I hope y'all do, add it to your playlists and just, I play it a couple times throughout the year, but that's my mentality, you know. I mean, I hate when guys mess with your tools. Yep. So this from Dan Atkinson. Great Memorial Day movies are, so for our listeners, The Last Full Measure, Taking Chance, Last Flag Flying, and We Were Soldiers. A great miniseries, Band of Brothers. That's a really, really amazing movie. Miniseries. And yes. I might have to tag him in this. Yeah. You want to get pumped as an American, watch The Fat Electrician. You want to learn a lot about American military history, The Fat Electrician is, yes. And the Pacific. Here we go. All right.
The eagle fly through a clear blue sky, 1965. The 8th of November. 8th of November. 8th of November. Said goodbye to his mama as he left South Dakota to fight for the red, white, and blue. He was 19 and green with a new M16, just doing what he had to do.
I hate when that happens. All right. So, just throwing this out there, Vietnam War casualties from Georgia. Killed in action, died while prisoner of war or missing in action. Bibb County in Middle Georgia lost the most casualties with 57 killed. And the only reason why I bring up Bibb County is because that's the area I was raised. DOD records indicate 225 men in a 37 county area in Middle Georgia died in Vietnam. Bibb County lost the most with 57. Upson County was 13, Houston County 12. It ranged in age from 18 to 49. One of those, Bibb County Marine PFC John Paul Sharpless, a Silver Star recipient. After graduating from Willingham High School in 1968, he enlisted. He died June 28th, 1970, after stepping on a booby trap while on patrol with his platoon in Quang Nam province. He had been there for only 4 months. His older brother, Larry of Centerville, said it's too difficult for him to talk about it. But his wife, Brenda, and son, Corey, sat down recently. Remember the man that Brenda said he was her buddy. Yep. He gave his life. He warned his other. When his foot hit the tripwire, there was time. Whoever set the trap forgot to pull the delay pin, so there was a moment that he was able to turn and warn everyone behind him. They all hit the ground, and John was the only one killed. He could have jumped clear of it, but everyone was saved. 25 years later, he was awarded the Silver Star. There was another one. Thank you. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I was really looking for. Vietnam Marine Sergeant Rodney Davis. If you're ever riding down if you're ever riding down 75, I-75, and you come through Macon, And right when you come around, there's a split off. We go to 16 and head towards Savannah, or go straight down 75, head towards Valdosta. If you go down six, or if you stay on that 75 hook, as I call it, and you kind of got to pay attention right when you cross over the Ugmuggy River. Look over to the right. There's a big, huge display and flags, Vietnam, Marines. There's a big marker. I'll ride by there sometime this week and get a picture of it. I might actually go back in there to that cemetery tomorrow after work. I'll try, because it's not that far from work. But look over to the right-hand side up on the hill. There's a marker and display and a memorial for Sergeant Rodney Davis. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for jumping on a grenade to save troops around him. In 2012, a group of Marines erected an $80,000 a monument for Davis at his gravesite in Linwood Cemetery. A nephew of his had written a book about him. John Hollis, former Atlanta Journal-Constitution reporter, married his niece. Recently signed a contract with So another one never came home from Vietnam was Bobby Jones at the interchange of I-16 and I-75, named in his honor. An Air Force physician who was hitching a ride in a fighter jet that crashed. So there's just a few of them. From the most notable one that I was trying to find initially was Rodney Davis. I've been around his grave marker a few times. So those are the ones I knew of right off the top of my head. So in loving memory of those guys, thank you them for their sacrifice. And now Marine's blood is at work. That's what's weird, that's on your birth certificate. Like first name Marines, last name Blood. I mean, I heard you like Young Blood, but the Blood just being the name, it's weird. Well, all right, everybody. I'm gonna jump off here and go chill out. I hope y'all had a great Memorial Day. I pray y'all have a great week. We'll get back at it this coming up weekend. Only a few more days away, right? 5 days. But I will see y'all Sunday. Back on track, back on time. I thank y'all, Dan, Tyler, Marines Blood, everybody in the chats. Once again, thank you for everybody who laid down their lives, sacrificed for our freedoms throughout our great country's history. You know, wherever you are up there, you know. So it's a good name. I mean, I ain't knocking it, dude. Not at all. But seriously, thank y'all. And everybody who's listening or watching this later on, go on Spotify, click on Find Forever Road Podcast. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Check out, I might go to the other website that rhymes with Bumble. Maybe that's a bad reference, but I'm looking into that, how to set everything up through that as well. It seems like there's more freedoms over there. I don't get paid for this anyway, but it seems like it's more freedoms over on that side. I don't know if y'all are down for that or not. But doing stuff like that, I think we'll get a little bit more. It came with it. There, yeah, yep, exactly, Rumble. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, YouTube don't like it, whatever. I run my this right here, recording through StreamYard, so I'll kick it to wherever I want to kick it. So I may, that way I ain't got to stop. If I want to play a song and go 30 seconds on something, try to prove a point on a certain song, then I don't have to get dinged for it, right? That's trying to do what I want. That's why we're Forever Road, baby. All about free spirit, outlaw, going against the grain, against the mainstream. You know, who wants to be mainstream, follow the crowd? Nobody wants to do that. Usually when the crowd's going this way, I look over there and go, yeah, it's too crowded. I'm going this way. So thank y'all for joining me this evening. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll be back on. And see, Tyler, you don't have any Instagram or anything like that, man. That's kind of rough. Because I post reels on Instagram, on Forever Road Podcast on Instagram, that you may miss every day. Now, if there's nothing, what we talk about on here, if there's nothing, what I talk about on here, then I won't post anything. But I'll yep, it's almost 7:00. Y'all have a great night. Discord only. I could probably share it to Discord. Yeah, you told me I could. That's right. Never mind. I'll share it to Discord. Kick it from Instagram over to Discord. Maybe I'll start my own Discord. I'm just kidding. I'm not that popular. All right, y'all. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. Dan, stay safe out on the road. I don't know where you're at. Marines Blood. Tyler, stay safe at work. Everybody else, have a great week. Enjoy your beginning of summer. Y'all stay safe. I love y'all. Hang on. Almost forgot. One of the main things. Almost forgot. One of the main things. Where is it at? Y'all know. Can't believe y'all almost let me forget. Real. Oops. Bam. Ish. 501c3. We'll talk about Operation Tackle Box, 501c3 nonprofit organization, changing lives, healing through reeling, combat veterans helping combat veterans. Think they're going to do Operation. I was watching. He posted something on Facebook the other day. This guy right here with a beard. He posted something the other day about the other website or starting another part of Operation Tackle Box. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it through Facebook. I thought I was following him. Okay. I am looking. And their Facebook, go onto their Facebook page, Operation Tackle Box. You can find out about their, is it Operation Off Road? Because it's been, there's a brewing company, one team, one fight, Line Creek Brewing Company. A West Coast IPA. Anybody like IPAs? I like beer. I do. I want it. I'm not gonna lie whatsoever. I like beer. Let's see. Warrior Beer Company. That was last Friday. There was a video he posted about the side by side, and I can't remember. If I see it again, I'll repost it. There is it says, America, we need your help. Donate today, or if your business wants to be on the Jeep, we are doing a $220 spot to get your logo on the Jeep wrap. This money helps us with the build. They're building a Jeep. Let me pull this up. They're building a Jeep Cherokee. Oh, there it is. That Jeep Cherokee. Spencer's Auto Parts is proud to be a sponsor. Yeah. So you can donate. You can donate. So, and that literally shows you they don't play around with the money. They do stuff for Operation Tackle Box or with Operation Tackle Box for the veterans. I got a notification. Yeah. Okay. Squirrel. But there's all their information. It's a nonprofit organization in Sonoy, Georgia. There's a phone number right there. 770-713-2058 if you want for information. OTB2019 at outlook.com and operationtacklebox.org. So if y'all ever want to get in touch with these guys on the phone, I know Marines Blood, you're a veteran. But yeah, so a family-owned operated team focused full-time on planning out fishing expeditions and soon to be side-by-side and off-road expeditions. They have plans for helping veterans get what they need. GI Bill, VA claims. GA Bill, IA claims. Absolutely anything and everything they can do, they will. For the veterans suffering from PTSD, it brings a lot of peace out there fishing, and they really want to help. Matter of fact, when our brother Turtle had his motorcycle accident, he was the first guy I called. As soon as I walked in Turtle hospital room, saw him in the condition he was in, I kind of took a breather, turned around, walked out, picked up the phone, called OTB. So, y'all, please go check out Operation Tackle Box. Get you some super sweet merch. Every profit, it's a nonprofit organization. So everything goes to help the veterans. They helped Brother Turtle out before. I'm sure they're going to help him again. I was talking to him. Matter of fact, I was talking to him this morning, just checking in, seeing how things are. He's starting to get up, moving around. He's got problems with his hand. He had surgery on his hand. He is home now. So prayer works, folks. Prayer does work. So y'all continue prayer. Continue to give him shout outs and love. Y'all see me tagging him on Facebook for those who follow my personal Facebook page. But yeah. Y'all have a great week. I will definitely see y'all Sunday. And if I can find it, here we go. Love y'all. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the FRP, the Forever Road Podcast, with Bosco. You can find and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or drop us a line or question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time right here on the Forever Road Podcast.